Hey everyone, and welcome to Five Questions with Mel. And this is a series where we have a conversation with people about their experiences in life and that most of us, if not all of us, can relate to. And before anything else, it'll be great if you can watch the whole video and don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe button to get updates whenever we upload our next video. In fact, do it right now while you're thinking about it. And this will help get more people to see videos like this. So on Valentine's Day, we talk with RR Pogoy, a professional basketball player here in the Philippines, and love and about their amazing love story. And the link will be up here. And I'll also put the link in the description below. So you guys check that out after you watch this video. In this episode, we are going to talk about something that is very, very relevant and very common to all of us, everyone around the world today. And this has been the talk not just today, not just in the past few months, but more than a year now. And you probably know what I'm talking about. This is COVID-19. And aren't you just tired of this pandemic, right? We know people that have been affected personally. I've known some people, friends, and family that have actually passed on because of the virus. And a lot of us are scared. A lot of us are saying, this is actually just a conspiracy theory. And many of us are saying, I can't get the virus because I have perfect health. Well, today it's best that we hear it firsthand. So, this our guest for today is someone that I know very well, and he's known me since I was since birth, since I was born. So that's how long he's known me, and his job is a quality control department lead at Stella Jones Corporation in Nevada, America, United States of America. And again, he's known me since birth because he's my mother's brother. And so I'd like to welcome Uncle Larry. Welcome to Five Questions with Mel. I heard it's very cold there in Silver Springs right now.
Yes, it's cold. Today we had a series of storm this week. It started actually it did start Tuesday last week. One storm after another, some big, some small, but nevertheless it's cold and windy. Um, but that's normal for winter. So yeah, it's been cold.
If you're ready, here are the five questions with Uncle Larry. Okay, question number one. Can you talk about the process of how you found out about being positive after I think you said you tested negative for a couple of tests, and what was the first thing that went through your mind when you found out that you were positive?
Well, I this is the story of my experience about COVID because we are very big with COVID, just like the Philippines, but we are not as strict as the Philippines because here they said we're locked down, but in reality, we can still go somewhere wearing a mask. And as a matter of fact, last year in June of last year, I have to go to see my provider to see if I could get a note, a doctor's note that I refuse to wear masks because I have asthma, very bad asthma. When it's an allergy season. So well, anyway, next long story short, at first they don't want to give me any note because apparently it's not the governor's. It's a mandate of the governor that we have to wear our mask. But at the very end, they gave me one note. So I wasn't really wearing masks. And if the store refuses me to go in, I'll just show them my note that I have a doctor's excuse that I can, go into the store without a mask. So it was not really that strict. And so my first experience with COVID was in June. I got exposed when your grandpa, Uncle Odie, passed away in Reno, Nevada. So I was there, and then during the funeral services, I got exposed to this one lady from Sacramento, California, that was one of the guests. Well, anyway, I have to tell my work that I get exposed. So I was quarantined for 14 days. It was paid. I never lost anything. Uh, Financially, it was all right because we've been financially backed up with the company as well as the government. So it was okay. And the first test we have at that time, I was tested negative. And so then time went on, and October came. The month of October, we had the season of the flu season. That's a flu season here. We had an inventory at the store, or not the store, the plant, and it's a 3-day event, and we have to count all kinds of um, poles, power poles, in the thousands. So we walk a lot. It's the entire employees of the plant. We've been um, divided into groups, and so to make a long story short, we were tired, and then the inventory went okay, and then the following week, I felt like I was exhausted, so I blamed the inventory because for some reason I was exhausted, and it wasn't that it wasn't that serious yet because I thought I can just I can still stand up and go to work. Um, but then when the second day after I started to feel the fatigue, I I lost my taste. So but normal, over the years when I get sick, I always lost my taste, and even your grandpa know that it, and your grandma know that every time I get sick, I lost my taste. So I thought it was normal, and I even joke around in the office, my coworkers in the office, and as a matter of fact, this is during the construction of the office, so we were very close together, and mask wasn't even necessary for us to wear in there because they were all over the place. My desk has moved many times. Sometimes I'm very close to another lady there in the office that just right next to me, and then she always say, "Don't say that because that's one of the symptoms of COVID." But then I keep saying, "No, no, I'm like this all the time." But that's the first symptoms I have for that time. So I thought, okay, it's normal, it's not serious. But then as time went on, the following week, um, I got really tired, and I have a hard time getting up. So presidential election, November the 3rd, presidential election here in the United States, I did not go to work because I felt like I can't even stand up. And then the following day, the 4th was my birthday. I said, okay, I'm not going to let this, fatigue beat me of not going to work. So I still went to work the whole week, um, thinking that it was just a normal um, fatigue because of the inventory that we had a week prior. So, that weekend, my friend Dave, my roommate Dave, have we had to get a little sick also. So we both went to Fallon to get tested. So it came out, being that we have it and everything. So I was shocked to find out that I have it, and so I called work, and obviously they told me to stay at home, and there was no medicine. They didn't prescribe me anything, no antibiotics. However, they were worried about my asthma and my diabetes because I have those underlying issues, health issues. So they gave me a lot of prescriptions for asthma, because just in case I'm gonna have a shortness of breath and all that stuff. But thank God that didn't really happen. So I'm so thankful that um, that event of COVID, of getting infected with COVID, wasn't really that serious. All I did really was sleep for the whole 2 weeks. But the first week after I get diagnosed of the COVID, I I just wanted to sleep. No fever, no aches and pains, no all these things, headaches, nausea, diarrhea, shortness of breath, coughing, chest pain, none of those, which is I'm really thankful to the Lord that he he spared me from that. So that's the those are the days when that I learned that I had COVID. And yeah, that was how I found out.
I've seen in the news, I've heard interviews, and it's just so different hearing it from someone that you know. And when we heard the news that, and so, hey, pray for Uncle Larry. What's going on? He said he just got tested positive, and so we, the emotions are extreme. From you don't want to feel, you don't want to think the worst, but also it could be a possibility. But now that we're hearing it from
Yes.
you, it's actually not. It's real. I mean, the virus is real, and for those that are saying that it's just a government conspiracy, or I don't know how they can say that, but now that we hear it from you, I hope this changes a little bit of their mindset, that this virus is real and it's dangerous, and that's why we are thankful that you're here with us so we can talk to you about it. And so thank you, Uncle Larry, for sharing that. I know it was difficult for that time. And so again, let's proceed with question number 2. Okay, can you? I know you talked about some of the symptoms, but can you tell us about the whole COVID? What were you feeling the whole time that you were at home, or what vitamins were you taking? I heard that you ate a lot of ampalaya, and I don't know what's that called
Yes.
in America, or apple cider vinegar for
Yeah, it's
during
called
those times. And can you tell us
yes.
a little bit of what helped you cope, and what helped you heal from this? What is your secret vaccine? We don't know. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
There is no secret vaccine, but before we go in there, I just wanted to emphasize that I had flu before, and before I had COVID, I had flu several times. While I was here, it's almost like a yearly occurrence. And last year, I did not have flu, but I had that COVID. I get COVID, but comparing the COVID and the flu, I get the flu, severe flu. I get it like really bad, worse than the COVID. Because when I have flu, I get aches and pains. I have a hard time breathing, really hard time breathing. And I got almost all the symptoms as the COVID as described,
Mm.
except for the diarrhea and nausea and all that stuff. But the flu is worse to me than the COVID. I don't know if it's always like that, but comparing the two, COVID is like a cruise. I mean, there's nothing, it's like, there's just no problem with this one. If this is COVID, I can sleep, and that's what I wanted to do anyway. I get no headache, so I sleep all day, which is no problem. But compared with the flu, for me personally, the flu and the COVID, the flu is worse for me than the COVID. So go to the next question to answer that. Yeah, because I don't want to stand up because I'm really, really weak. Even to open my eyes was like hard. So what I did was your Auntie Lindy from Reno brought me food here, and she leaves it outside the gate there. And then when she leaves, she want to make sure that I get the food. It's like tons of food, and one of those foods that she left outside. She comes like twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. But yeah, so she left this ampalaya because I don't have any taste. When they start coming, my taste started to come back. But everything that I will eat, it tastes like a block of salt. It's too salty. Even water, it tastes salty. So I thought, oh man, it's really it's bad. So I can't eat very well. So I was thinking maybe the ampalaya would be good. So I sliced this ampalaya, and I don't taste nothing, but at least I have something for my stomach. So I put them next to my bed right here in the room, and then at that time I just ate it like by itself. No apple cider, no nothing, just the ampalaya. I eat the whole thing all day
Wow.
long. I keep eating it. I don't taste any bitterness to it because it was. I don't taste nothing. It's not salty. It's not bitter. It's not nothing. Just like celery, you just eat it and everything. So um, that was all week. I ate ampalaya, and then I started to regain my energy back, like
Wow.
almost like an overnight. And I don't know if because it was the tail end of my COVID experience, but I think it was the ampalaya that gave me the energy, because when I went back to work, we Googled what does it do to your body, and it's
Mm,
a lot of vitamin C, and it's a lot of it boosts your immune system.
mm,
So I told him that that's what happened. So during that time, I did the ampalaya, and then I started to get up, and then I started cooking a little bit here and there, and I cook meat, and I put ampalaya in there, and I don't know how I cooked it. I just boil it, and then it looks disgusting because at that time I'm still, like I still don't know what to do because I'm not used to eating the ampalaya. So I start eating it. So and then as soon as I get my taste back, I started going, because I always my routine is to take apple cider almost every night to
mm,
boost my immune system, even before the COVID.
mm.
But then during the COVID, when I had the COVID, it was I forgot to take it religiously. So I went back and started taking apple cider, and then I found out that as soon as my taste coming back, it's very fast. Also, a lot of people said that their taste came back like after a month or two. Mine came back right up, like right away. So
Wow.
as soon as my taste came back, I started doing this experiment. Um, I uh, put the ampalaya with the apple cider vinegar, and then I soak it all night. And then in the morning, well, actually, I put it all night, and then put a little bit of soy sauce and
Wow.
Tabasco because we don't have
Wow.
the pepper.
Nice.
Put Tabasco there, and then in the morning, I start eating it, and then I bring some to work because that was the time when I'm already tested negative, and I started to regain my strength back. So every time I go to work, I take the Empalaya now, if I have it, and then I soak it with the apple cider the night before, and I put it in the Ziploc bag and bring it to work. And every time I do that, I can feel the energy. I don't know if it's psychological or whatever, but I do feel the difference with me eating the bitter gourd,
Mm.
or the day that I don't eat it, I feel the difference. So I don't know if that was. It seems like it is the one that made me better, because I did not take any medicine at all, because they won't prescribe you any medication here.
Ah.
Right here, the only thing that they do to you, if they found out that you have a COVID, is to give you a medicine over the counter. Unless you have asthma, they give you a inhaler, all kinds of Ventolin, albuterol, and all that, to keep you breathing. But the rest, like to lower your fever, if you have fever and all that stuff, you can buy it over the counter. They don't really give you any antibiotics. But for me, I think the one that helped me the most, because I didn't take any of those medicine. I didn't even take my inhalers because I do not need it. The only thing I have is have no energy. But when I start taking or eating the empalaya, that's my energy went back again. It came back, um, and now I'm I'm totally normal. But if this is just my suggestion, and my suggestion that if you guys wanted to be strong and energetic, I think try the ampalaya with apple cider vinegar, and it changes the taste. It takes out the bitterness of it, and and it's just like a mango, a raw mango. So yeah, so I've been doing that now. That's my favorite pastime, eating ampalaya if I have it. Yeah,
Well, I love ampalaya, so I don't know if it tastes like mango, but I like it. And apple cider not so much, but it's still pretty. I mean it works. And
yeah,
for those of you that don't know, Uncle Larry worked was a manager in a pharmacy in the States for a long time, so he knows his meds, and he knows
yes,
what meds to give to people. And I don't know, it's probably could be a doc. He could have been a doctor, but right. He knows his meds. So if you guys want to talk about, hey, you should have taken this, or you should have done this, he knows his stuff. And so that's why he's suggesting all these kinds of possible secret vaccine for the COVID. So thank you, Uncle Larry, for that great insight for about ampalaya and apple cider. So
yeah. You're
let's
welcome. It's good.
let's
Try it.
proceed to let's proceed to question number three. This is a question that a lot of um, people that don't have someone affected or got positive with COVID can't really relate. So I'm gonna ask you first, and is it true about the stigma or the discrimination that comes if you are a COVID-19 positive? And did you actually believe that you would be able to recover completely, and why or why not? But I mean, is there really discrimination that happens when people find out that you are positive?
Well, because of the media or the news that we hear from all over the place that um, COVID is just this big, serious stuff, which it is. I believe it is because to some people, just like the flu, people get infected with flu in different ways, in different manner. So some people could die with flu, and some people could just no problem. I knew a few people actually that um, get infected with COVID that just have no symptoms whatsoever, no fatigue,
Wow.
no nothing. But then a friend from work that infected. I'm not going to mention his name, but his wife get infected as well. But his wife have no symptoms whatsoever. But
Wow.
she got quarantined because of the fact that they are in the one family. So she get quarantined, and now my friend from work came back and he got it like big time. Now his lungs is only in 80% capacity. His mom almost died. Now she's going to
Oh,
be in
wow.
oxygen for the rest of her life. And so does his dad. His dad recovers, but he's not going to be working anymore as well. No oxygen. But, there are some people that have different, reactions to this virus, just like the flu. So the discrimination part, I think, is because we are so aware about this virus that we've been told that when we have it, we have to be separated and quarantined and all that. And I think it's because of the stigma that if you have COVID, you'll die, right? So they isolate you. They put you. It seems like they're gonna put you somewhere in a, like isolation and everything, which is good because that prevents from infecting others.
Mm.
But the thing is, the people that doing this, they generalize everybody, even though, like in my case, I no matter how I explain that I got this virus, I think a week and a half ago. Then I get my test, and then I get tested positive, and then like it's not even 2 weeks after that, it's not 14 days. I feel better. But no matter how I explain, they said no, you can't come back to work, and even if you have a negative result, you still have to wait 14 days
Mm.
because you get tested positive. They want to make sure that you are okay to go back to work. So even the negative result was a week ago already. Um, you lose like almost a month's worth of work because you can go back because of that quarantine. But I think it's because of prevention. They do this, and a lot of people here says, uh, a lot of different race. They say, oh, this certain race more COVID than others because of so and so, their whatever the color of your skin, and some of the people. But I think it's cultural as well, and I know it is, and it's nothing to do with your skin color, because in some cultures here, even though we are in the United States, we it's some of the culture are very social, sociable people, you know what I mean, together all the time, parties, family, get together and all that. So it's not because of your skin color that the COVID virus would infect anyone, but I think they get infected because of not being, oh, we're family, we'll be together, even though they know that they have some, they get infected, and then so then the virus spread in a certain categories, certain race, because of that. They don't take care of themselves that much. But I'm not saying that that's what always happens, but the virus have no respect of who you are, really.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter what color of your skin. It doesn't matter if you're Filipino, Caucasian, black, whatever, Asian. It doesn't matter. If you get infected, you get infected. I didn't know where I got mine. Um, the first symptoms I got was, I thought, when I get the result, I said, I'm trying to think where I got this, because I thought, oh, maybe from church. But you know what? No, it wasn't from church, because I already felt bad when I went to church, and I thought, oh, this is bad. Maybe I gave it to church, right? The people there, but it didn't, because not nobody there get infected. But so you can't really say where you got it. So I can't pinpoint where I got the virus, because even though I don't wear masks at the store and I don't go to stores, very, 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 very rare I go to store and buy something. Like always get some food to go from fast food places or restaurant. I just call ahead of time and to go. So, and for myself, this virus have no respect. It doesn't discriminate. If you get infected, you get infected. But for me, I just trust the Lord that I don't get it like the other people that they get so seriously ill. So yeah, it doesn't discriminate. It infects anyone. Yeah, just we just have to be very careful and trust God that um, when it comes, God will help us to get over it. That's the only thing we can do, really, because again, as I said, they don't prescribe you with any antibiotics here.
Yeah.
They just to go through it, and hopefully you'll survive. That's basically what it is here. And during the peak of it, um, you can only be admitted to the hospital when your oxygen level is so low that you can barely breathe. And that's when they get you into the hospital, and that's about ready to get you into a ventilator. But before that, they will send you home, and they just tell you to quarantine over there, and hopefully you'll survive. But if you can't, call the ambulance, we'll pick you up, and then we'll we'll get you to the hospital and admit you there. But prior to that one, if you can still move, they'll let you go home and just
Hmm.
oh, you're on your own, basically. So
Uncle Larry, just to confirm, clarify my question, and were you afraid that people might find out that you had COVID, COVID because they might treat you differently, or do people treat people differently, those that are infected? Because I'm asking you this because here in the Philippines, when a and I know because a neighbor of ours, it wasn't even positive, but died of the symptoms of COVID, and so there people don't even pass their house anymore. And so I mean, is it similar or different, or people don't care there if you're positive or not, or what's going on about that?
well, here, a lot of people don't say they don't. I think I'm one of the very few, rare case where I told everyone I have COVID. Because a lot of people don't say it. You just found out because they will tell the people that they needed
Yeah.
to tell. Like at work, I have quite a few people at work that get infected, so they had to tell the boss. But then the boss had to say, okay, we have to do this because one of the person here have a COVID, so we have to be very careful. But most of the time, people that get infected would say that they get infected, except for the people at work that I know. They said, they say it because they wanted to tell the people to be aware that this is a real thing. But I think I don't think after I get my COVID, when I went back, I get my negative result. I think it was 5 6 days after my negative result. I went back to work, and everybody there is being, like, no, they're not afraid or anything. They just came to me, and then some of them even hugged me, and they were so happy that I'm back. And I'm happy I'm back too because I'm ready to go back to work. I'm so bored at home. So yeah. But I don't know if that experience is also, if people here experience like that also, that when people die they don't go to the house. I don't hear that here. um, I know that at the peak of this pandemic, when a lot of people died, they don't, just like there, they don't see their loved one when they die. They just kind of like cremate them, and they just give them the ashes and stuff. But but that experience, like somebody in the house died and they don't want to pass on that house, because I didn't hear that here. No. However, in the back of the mind of people, I'm sure that's probably the thought. You know what I mean? Because people are people. They say, "Oh my God, COVID," and there are some people that's very exaggerated. I just say exaggerated, but there are some people that just take it seriously. You know what I mean? They say, "Oh my God, it's in the air. I'm gonna get it." If it's in the air, maybe it's in the air. I don't know. I don't worry that much. Maybe it's in the air. I was cleaning the RV, and actually I was cleaning my RV. We just spotted. We just put the tarp on top because it's winter time, so we don't use the RV. We don't camp in the winter time. So I was cleaning that. After that, this was after the inventory. So after that, that's when I started to feel weak. But I blame the inventory for that. So I don't know. Maybe it was on the RV on the roof. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know if it's in the air. I really don't. I don't know where it started. So I could pinpoint a lot of places that we might, where I got it, but I don't know. So yeah. So in the back of the mind of people, I'm sure that that's a thought. If you're infected, you stay away from me. But here at my work, at the very least, because I don't have a lot of, I don't hang out with a lot of people except work and church. We don't do that. We do precautions and we wear masks if we need to. We still do the 6 feet distancing, the 6 feet and all that stuff. But I don't know if some people here will go as far as not going to the house or close to the house where people died, because there are some people here that what they do is just disinfect the place.
Yeah.
That's all the work that they do, disinfect like 24 hours a day, they disinfect. So so that's I think that's the only thing that I could say here.
Well, thank God that you're not bored now. And you're going
busy.
you're
Yes.
being busy, and you're going back to work, and people have been very accepting, at least from what you can tell me. And so we've been praying here in the other side of the world as well. So thank God that you are healed. You've been eating, because I see on your Facebook page that Hannah and Sarah and Ian, you guys have been and eating. So I miss that.
Yes.
Actually, we miss that. So maybe hopefully
Yes, we
soon.
the one of the hardest thing too is I didn't see my children for a while.
Oh.
So they were their mom got them, separated from me for like the whole month basically.
Mm.
But also this is the thing. During those times that I didn't know that I have the COVID, I was with um especially Ian. Ian and I wrestle a lot. Ian likes
Mm.
to wrestle. And at that time, I was already like so weak. He said, "Yeah, I can't do it." And then he wrestles. He go. I mean, we're wrestling. So if I had the COVID, I don't know why Ian didn't get infected, which is really a
Oh
miracle.
wow.
None of them get infected, and we were. There's no 6 feet distancing when we're here.
Yeah.
We don't have masks. We don't wear masks and everything. So and for some reason, I know it's God's protection that did that. Yes, it was a miracle because we've been again. I was I thought I was infected a week prior of my diagnosis, so I already had the virus for 1 week, and then I didn't know. We still go out. My children and I go out and we eat, and we don't wear masks, and especially with Ian, my youngest, my son, Ian. We wrestle a lot, and you know, with that alone right there, it's a miracle that none of them get infected. But when they went back to school, they have to tell them, they have to tell the school that they got exposed through me, through their dad. So they've been quarantined as well, but they never really got sick. The school nurse called me, and they didn't ask if I had COVID or not because it's against the law. Um,
Oh.
yeah, right here we have a HIPAA law, which is the privacy. You can't really ask the people what they have. You
Ah.
can't even ask the hospital; they won't give you any information about somebody's issues.
Okay.
So it's a private issue. So the nurse called, and it's a male nurse. So he said that if I'm okay. So I told him, yeah, I'm all right. I'm just weak. And then I realized that it was him asking me if I have a COVID, but he couldn't say. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I asked him, I said, is this about my COVID? And then he said, yeah, exactly. This is what I call because I said, oh no, I'm all right. I can breathe. I don't have those severe symptoms that people have. So I said, how about my children? And they said, well, the children are being quarantined. So that's why I called their mom, and I called them how they're doing. They're fine. They were playing volleyball outside every day,
Mm.
just just to keep them away from boredom.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one of the miracles during those times that so I don't know how come they didn't get infected. They don't eat ampalaya, but their immune system must be very, very strong. That's and God protects them too, because a lot of people is praying for them and for me and the protection of the whole family. So I'm sure that that's where the protection comes from mainly. So
Yep. Yep. And I've read that most of the younger age are more immune, and I'm not saying you're old, but
just say it.
uh, more the younger generation are have stronger immune system. So I guess that's one of they should start eating ampalaya. And I'm just saying with egg with egg.
I tried. I
Ah, you
tried.
tried. Okay. Well, soon.
But I think
Maybe.
I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna. They like pickled stuff. They like pickled. They
Oh,
like
pickled. Okay. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Pickled. So I think I'm gonna do that with apple cider.
Mm.
Hopefully, I tried it with Ian, and no, he's like, nope,
No.
I'm not eating that.
No. Okay, that's good. For those of you that are watching that are family that have been infected or were infected, and you went through the same quarantine, and like Uncle Larry said, that the hardest thing for him was being away from his children, and I know you guys felt that too. So thank you for sharing that, Uncle Larry. That's a big encouragement for us. So let's
You're
continue with
welcome.
question number 4. Now that you've recovered from the virus, and you're going through your normal life now, post COVID plans.
right now I didn't really change anything after the COVID. I still, but during the time of COVID, like a week to 2 weeks after I was declared okay, negative.
Mm,
I still will wear my mask outside, not for me, but for the other people, because I don't want to infect people too. So I
mm,
was being considerate for other people also. So I still wear that, but now um, I don't go. I don't. It seems like I didn't really change that much with my attitude and perception about this whole thing because I'll take it this way. Um, God is God, and He know what to do, right? So I don't want to go ahead of Him. I don't want to go behind Him. I want to go what He wants to do. So when I had the COVID, I know that it wasn't that serious because I felt like it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a serious thing for me because when I get um, diagnosed that I had the COVID virus, I psychologically you say, okay, how do I feel now? And then most of us, or I'm one of them, one of those people that would say, okay, I felt like that. Is this the one now? Oh, is this gonna be the COVID? Am I
mm,
gonna get worse? So
mm,
I don't do that anymore because when I got tested and I went through all those, I've seen the hand of God working, um, you know, in a miraculous way, really, and because of the prayers, obviously the people, and
mm,
because when you're that was a very 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 like mild symptoms I got.
mm,
So I can't imagine the people with severe symptoms. So when in my case, um, I did I realized that the people have been praying, and I said, you know what, God, if this is going to be this for the next 14 days, and I will, come out of it okay, then I know that it's going to be like you that did, allow me to go through mild symptoms because everybody know that if Larry gets that's what the work I have that in the back of my mind before because they always say you're old. I'm 56 and I have asthma, severe asthma, and it comes and goes without any warning. I have severe asthma, I have diabetes, and I'm sure, those factors considered, yeah, I'm in a, high risk group. So when they told me that I have the COVID, that's when the first thought I have is like, okay, what I'm gonna do if I get those severe symptoms. But then that worry just like subsided, just went down when I said, you know what? So what if I do get those symptoms? I got through flu, and I got severe symptoms, and and then the thought of maybe I had this already for a while
mm,
because I lost my taste for a little bit, so I think I'm already almost halfway through it. Um, so I wasn't really worried. So I'm just like to share that because I think the pressure and the anxiety and the stress when you get diagnosed, you think like, oh my God, is this the end of it? No, it's not. It really isn't. When you're stressed out because, oh my God, I got it. Now I'm gonna die, right?
mm.
So just relax. All I can say is just relax. Leave it to the Lord. You get the diagnosis. You get COVID. There you go, God. It's in your hand. I'm gonna be out of this, And if you don't, hey, no worries. We know where we're going, right? So yeah, just leave it to the Lord. So just an encouragement. Uh, the diagnosis of a positive diagnosis is not a death sentence. It's a for more or less it's a wake up call that we
Mm.
need to trust in the Lord, or we need to change our behaviors and lifestyles and everything if we want to. I'm stubborn. I still didn't. So I'm still doing the things I used to do. I'm hanging out with people, but I know I already have the COVID, so it'll take about 6 more months if I get it again. God forbid. I'm hoping I won't do it again, but you can't prevent things. Things could happen. flu, COVID, whatever it is. So that's when our faith comes, and we just say, you know what, God, you're, you're taking care of me from the beginning, so it's your will, right? But if we can prevent things, yes, we will. But I don't want to go overboard, like wearing of the mask. That's one thing. I couldn't wear mask because before I get the COVID, I tried to wear a mask in this one store and almost passed out because I couldn't breathe. So I almost called the ambulance because I have asthma because of the mask, not COVID, because of the mask. So as much as I can, I don't wear mask, but I don't suggest that to everybody. If you need to, go ahead. That's just for me, my personal stuff, because I don't like masks, that's all. So yeah.
Well, that's a great point. Wake up call.
Yes, wake up call, and maybe some changes in our lifestyles. But the thing that us here, we don't really. The government imposed a lot of restrictions here too, as well, just like the Philippines. But I don't know. Half of the people never really follow, except for the mask. But just because they can go in the store, but I'll go anyway. And there's very few of us that really don't do it. They just go inside. But if I do have the symptoms, I could probably wear masks, not for me, but for the other people, because I know that it's not right. If you know that you have some other symptoms, not just the COVID, maybe you have colds or flu or whatever, you got to wear your mask. If you need to go outside, if you need to go out and go to the store, you need to wear a mask for the other people's protection.
Okay. Wow. So I guess we're down to the last question. And any final words of wisdom for our viewers concerning this current and ongoing pandemic?
Like just any other diseases, like the flu, different strain every year. I worked in the pharmacy for a long time in Lake Tahoe, California, for 21 years. Different strain every year. Even though you have a vaccine, I'm not saying don't take the vaccine, but I'm saying vaccine can help you for the strain of this year, but not for the next year, because it might be different strain. As a matter of fact, there's 2 new variant of the COVID, the Brazilian and the UK variant. So that's a new strain, right? So then you're gonna make vaccine for that, and that's great for next year. Who knows? Next year there's gonna be another strain. So you can't really prevent things to happen. Just be healthy. And when we had flu before, the flu season, just like I'm saying, a lot of people before here in America, they die with flu every year. Thousands and thousands of them die with flu, and now there's no flu because it's all COVID related. So the flu is gone. So how could that be? Well, anyway, that's why when I say I had the COVID and I get the mild symptoms, the fatigue and the no energy, just worn out every day. If that was the symptoms for me, if that was the COVID that will do to me, then perfect. I like to sleep. Wow. I can do this, but with the flu, it's different. Flu would almost about ready to kill me. So different people, different effect. So my last view on this thing about this COVID is the government restrictions, since it's a legality of it. So if they restricted, if you really have to do it there in Philippines, we'll just follow the law, because if it's the law, then we just have to follow it and everything. But for us here, we still have freedom. I don't know how long, but we still have freedom. So we can still, say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So it's okay. We have options to do that. But if you don't, I guess you just have to follow. But the thing that I can do, bottom line, is do not worry. Do not worry about the future, because this pandemic changed everybody's life, not just some people that affected it. everybody's life. Everybody in the world get affected by this thing in one way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
because it changes. A lot of people now lost their jobs, lost everything, and it's amazing. It's amazing what virus can do to the entire world, to change the lifestyles, to change the direction of what we thought for sure 2 years ago. Oh, everything is, perfect. It's good. Life is good. Nothing's going on. Everything is, perfect. And then all of a sudden, this put a hard break to everything. It's like, oops, wait a minute. So it put a stop, and then the direction was changed. So, but again, we can't change things now. This is a unprecedented time. We haven't experienced this before. So what I can say is just keep the faith, keep the hope alive that soon we get this thing not controlled, but we get this thing, a part of our lives that would, I hate to say this, that it won't go away, but it seems like it won't. But then we just need to learn, to live with this pandemic and be aware, and, that it can hurt, some people. And then we compare it to some other diseases as well, cancer, heart attack. They have, those things still exist, not just the COVID. Those other things exist. So what we do is we just need to learn to live our lives with this virus, with all around us, but not panic and not making, especially when people making stories, especially on the Facebook, they say, oh, oh, pandemic did this and that. It's put more scare rather than to calm down the situation,
So, Uncle Larry, thank you so much. That was the 5 questions, and this has been a very encouraging and very empowering conversation. And I mean, let me just say, your grit, your resilience, your joy, your optimism when you face this trial, they're God-given, they're divine, they're not normal, they're supernatural. God gave them to you, and we hope to encourage those that are watching that are not feeling physically well, or maybe you're going through this situation right now where you're COVID positive or you tested negative and you're afraid that somehow in the future you might become a positive. Let this interview, let this conversation be an encouragement for you, and we pray that God will cover you in Jesus' name.
Yes.
So
And
thank you so much, Uncle Larry, for joining us today. And
thanks for inviting me.
And thank you so much for those great advice of the bitter gourd and the apple cider, and just telling us that this is probably a wake-up call. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but especially for those that have been personally involved with COVID-19, and they have been hit or they've been infected, or they have family that have gone through the same thing. This is a wake-up call for all of us, and not just to say physically healthy, but even our spiritual. We need a checkup for our spiritual. So before we go, if you enjoyed this video, if you got something out of it, please press like or subscribe to our channel, or comment down below. Comment something to Uncle Larry, or who you would like us to interview next. But again, this that would help this channel get more people to see this video, and to encourage more people who are going through the same pandemic that we are. So Uncle Larry, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for watching the video. And this is 5 Questions with Mel, and we will catch you in the next video. God bless.
Amen. God bless you guys. Take care.